This is Hong Kong's real Victoria's Secret. Everyone else paid $44 for this view. I paid $0. This one gets you through immigration faster than the line at Starbucks. This one gets you the best seat for the laser show for free with 0 crowds blocking your view. This one skips a line so long, people wait an hour just to get a seat. And this one skips the line everyone else waits an hour for at the happiest place on earth. 4 words. That's all it takes to cut the price by 60%. All of it combined saved me over $1,000. 35 hacks. Real ones. The exact ones I use to travel Hong Kong smarter, cheaper, and with basically 0 crowds. What if your next trip to Hong Kong looked nothing like a typical tourist's? Our strategy starts long before you even leave your house. It starts right on your couch. Forget about paying a travel agent to do the heavy lifting for you. They're just adding a layer of markup that you don't need to pay. These platforms I'm linking to are actually the exact same ones most travel agents use behind the scenes to find their deals. When you are looking for flights, don't just book the first price you see. You need to compare, but you don't need to spend hours opening 5 to 10 different airline websites to do it. Use Trip.com or CheapOair to find everything in one search. Pro tip: these platforms unlock bulk negotiated fares and app-only discounts you won't find on airline sites. Plus, they compare every airline at once to ensure you're actually getting the cheapest flight possible. But beyond saving money, you can't afford to lose a single day. I see it all the time. People ruin their first day of vacation just by taking a daytime flight. Instead, take the red-eye flight. Now, I use what I call the midnight teleport. It's simple. You close your eyes at night, and when you open them, you've basically been teleported into a new city. No waiting, no stress. My trick? Book the back rows. While everyone fights for the front near exit, the back is a ghost town where you can grab a whole row, actually sleep, and save on a hotel night. The difference is huge. While others are stuck in the daytime grind, battling traffic and endless lines, they're losing hours of their trip before it even starts. But you land at 6 a.m., fresh and ready. While everyone else is stuck in the queue, you're already out there, starting your day exactly how you want it. When it comes to your hotel, stop settling for the first price you see on one platform, like Agoda. Most people fall into the trap of sticking to just one site, but that's a rookie mistake. Instead, I use a technique I call the unfiltered room, so I know exactly what I'm paying for without the marketing fluff. I exclusively use TripAdvisor for this, because it's the only place that shows you the real condition of the room. It allows you to compare prices across multiple booking sites simultaneously, like Agoda, Booking.com, Hotels.com, Expedia, and many more. So you don't have to waste time opening 20 different tabs. Now, to stay within your budget, you need to use the filters like a pro. Don't just browse. Set your price range immediately so you don't waste time looking at hotels you can't afford. Then use the location filter to pin down exactly where you want to be, like Central or Chensitроy, and set the star rating to filter out the places that don't meet your standards. Here is the secret move. Sort your results by traveler ranked or best value, not just price. This helps you find the gems that offer the best balance of quality and cost. Once you've narrowed it down, skip the marketing photos. Go straight to the traveler photos tab. This is where you see the actual unfiltered state of the rooms. Look for the most recent uploads. They'll show you the current wear and tear, the real size of the space, and the actual view, not the airbrushed shots the hotel paid for. And when reading reviews, filter by recent and look at the average and poor ratings. Those 3-star reviews are where you'll find the brutal truth about noise, Wi-Fi, or tiny bathrooms. Do this research before you put a single dollar down, and you'll know exactly what you're paying for. And here is your final pro tip for when you actually arrive. Don't be the tourist sitting in the lobby for 4 hours waiting for a check-in stamp. Most hotels in Hong Kong will gladly hold your luggage at the front desk hours before your room is ready. To make it even smoother, email the hotel a day or 2 before you land. Simply say, "Hi, my flight arrives early in the morning and I'll be dropping my bags off at the front desk around insert time. Once you drop those bags, get out into the city immediately. You're here to explore, not to stare at a lobby. By doing this, you've effectively gained an extra half day of your vacation that most people completely waste. Before you even think about packing your bags, you need to handle your tickets. Standing in a 60-minute line at a hot ticket booth is a complete waste of your hard-earned vacation time, a mistake known as the ticket trap. To bypass this entirely, you need to execute a strategy I call the digital VIP skip. Think about the logic here. While you are still sitting comfortably at home, you can use the official Klook or KKday links I put in the description below to lock in your subway passes, your airport express tickets, and your major park entries, like Ocean Park or Hong Kong Disneyland. Instead of playing a sucker game by paying full retail price while sweating in a massive crowd, you get to experience what it actually feels like to be a VIP. When you arrive at the attractions, you get to completely bypass the crowds. Scan the QR code right from your smartphone screen and walk straight to the front of the line while everyone else watches you pass. This is what I call the frictionless landing. From the moment you touch down, your logistics system kicks in. First rule, walk right past the currency exchange kiosks at the airport terminal. They offer terrible rates, charge heavy fees, and will completely rip you off. Instead, find a local bank ATM inside the arrival hall and pull local cash directly using your standard bank card. It is faster, safer, and much cheaper. Next, when leaving a terminal, use my simple suitcase rule to decide between a train or a taxi. If you are traveling light with 2 or fewer suitcases, take the airport express train. It is incredibly fast, clean, and efficient. But if you have more than 2 heavy suitcases, skip the train entirely and head straight for the taxi line. Hauling massive luggage up and down escalators through busy transit stations defeats the whole purpose of traveling smart. Finally, it's time to claim your octopus card. If you followed my advice and booked it online earlier, you just head straight to the designated service desk in the arrivals hall, scan your QR code, and they'll hand it right over. But if you skipped that step and need to buy one on the spot, head to the round MTR customer service counter right in the center of the floor. Just keep in mind that if that counter has a massive line of tourists, do not waste your time standing there. Walk right over to any airport 7-Eleven instead. They sell the exact same tourist octopus card straight over the register. This isn't just a basic subway card, it is an all-in-one digital wallet that pays for your trains, your local buses, your harbor ferries, and even your snacks at convenience stores. It is your ultimate key to navigating Hong Kong completely stress-free. Now, let's look at the map. This is where most itineraries fall apart, a mistake I call the Hong Kong ping pong. Tourists cross the harbor for a morning museum in Kowloon, rush back to the island for a lunch cafe, and head back to Kowloon for dinner. Moving like this means you spend your whole trip sitting in train tunnels and wasting time. Do not do this. You must cluster your day. It's tiring to walk in Hong Kong. Pick one geographical zone, explore it completely, and stay on that side of the water until your day is done. Think of the city as a menu. Mix and match these options, but remember to keep them clustered by day. Now, a lot of people just open Google Maps and hope for the best. But if you want to navigate Hong Kong like a local and avoid the frustration of bad timing or missed connections, you need to download City Mapper. While Google Maps is fine for walking, it can be hit or miss with Hong Kong's complex public transport. City Mapper, on the other hand, is built specifically for cities like this. It gives you real-time arrival info for buses, trains, and even the ferries. It shows you which exit to take out of the MTR stations, which, trust me, is a lifesaver in a city where one wrong exit can leave you 10 minutes away from where you actually need to be. If you want to stop wandering around looking confused, get City Mapper. It's the difference between a smooth trip and a wasted afternoon. Seriously, get it on your phone before you even leave your room. Once that's sorted, you are ready to tackle the city. We are starting on Hong Kong Island. Every single travel brochure you read is going to tell you to take the Peak Tram to get your view of the city. Do not do it. Standing at that lower tram ticket booth is a total nightmare. You will easily waste 1 to 2 hours of your day standing in a suffocating line just to fork over $42 to $44 USD for a combo ticket. Instead of wasting time and money at the main Victoria Peak entrance, let me show you what I call the Victoria's Secret. How do you actually get up there? You bypass the tram station completely. Make your way to the Central Ferry Piers. You'll find the terminal for the Nova 15 bus right outside Pier 5. It only costs about $1.50 USD each way. When it pulls up, head straight upstairs to the top deck and wait for a front row seat. The double-decker bus drives right up the steep mountain switchbacks through the jungle canopy, giving you a fantastic scenic ride to the summit with absolutely zero wait time. The bus drops you off right at the top of Victoria Peak, directly underneath the Peak Galleria Mall. Now, once you step out at the summit, the tourists are going to herd over to the Peak Tower to buy tickets for Sky Terrace 428. That is another $10 USD just to stand on the platform. Skip that ticket line too. Instead, walk right into the Peak Galleria, take the escalators to the top floor, and walk out onto the open-air rooftop deck. It is $0 USD, completely free, and you get the exact same stunning panoramic visual outcome over Victoria Harbour without the crowds or the extra fee. For getting around the rest of the island, skip the expensive commercial walking tours. Just hop on the Ding Ding tram and ride it from Kennedy Town all the way to Shao Ki Wan. It's the cheapest, most authentic way to see how the city changes, from hyper-modern financial high-rises to old-school traditional neighborhoods. Now, if you're adding Ocean Park to your itinerary, here is the real insider strategy to completely maximize your day. And this is what I call the Ocean Perk. Got it? Ocean Park Perk. Think of a perk as a hidden advantage that gives you more for your time. It starts before I even arrive. I use Klook to grab my tickets ahead of time. It's my digital fast pass to walk straight through the gates, while everyone else is still fumbling at the ticket window. Once inside, most people make a massive tactical error. They rush the cable car line. They think it's the only way to the summit, and they'll stand there for an hour in the humidity just to get a seat. That is a trap. I head straight for the Ocean Express train. It's faster, air-conditioned, and empty. I'm already at the summit knocking out rides while the crowd is still stuck at the bottom. To stay ahead, I keep the official Ocean Park app open as my tactical radar. I check it constantly to see which lines are spiking and pivot my route before the crowd catches on. But the real magic of the Ocean Perk is in the timing. Once the sun starts to dip and the crowds are exhausted and heading home, that is when I finally hop on the cable car. Now the line is gone, and I get a private view of the Hong Kong sunset from the clouds. I time it to land right at the base, walking straight into the aquarium when it's quiet and cool. That's the Ocean Perk. It's about skipping the ticket queue, using data to pivot, and knowing exactly when to move, turning a stressful day of waiting into a high-speed private tour. When it's time to head across the harbor, do not take the subway. Take the Star Ferry right at golden hour, just before sunset. You get the perfect view of the island skyscrapers behind you and the Kowloon side lighting up right in front of you for pennies. Now, if you want to watch the famous 8 p.m. Symphony of Lights laser show, do not just stand on the main harbor railings with thousands of other tourists blocking your view. That is a rookie mistake. Instead, use what I call my Symphony of Sight strategy. Walk right over to the Hong Kong Museum of Art. It is hands down the best crowd skipping hack in the city, and you have 3 epic ways to do it, depending on your budget and the day of the week. Option 1, the outdoor public deck, 100% free any day of the week. If you want a premium view for absolutely $0 on any night of the week, head up to the museum's first floor outdoor public deck. While the museum galleries inside close early at 6 p.m. on weekdays, this massive elevated balcony stays wide open 24/7. Option 2. Want to stay cool in the air conditioning or grab a drink while you watch? Head straight up to first floor of the museum to MOA Dining. Its floor-to-ceiling glass venue stays open late, looking directly over the promenade crowds, so your view is completely unobstructed. If you happen to be here on a Saturday or Sunday, you can pull off the ultimate weekend-only flex. On weekends, the museum galleries extend their hours until 9 p.m. Take the escalator straight up to the 5th floor roof floor gallery. You can sit on these iconic aesthetic cloud benches completely for free, looking down at the entire harbor from 5 stories up through massive floor-to-ceiling glass. It is pure luxury comfort without spending a single cent. If you are into gadgets, photography, or video gear, skip the tourist street markets entirely and hunt down a building called Sim City at Shantung Munpak. From the outside, it looks like a completely generic mall entrance, but inside is a multi-story paradise packed with tiny shops selling new and used cameras, vintage lenses, microphones, and creative tech accessories. But here is the ultimate insider tech hack for Hong Kong. Before you step into any electronics shop, look up the exact device you want on the local comparison website, price.com.hk. This tells you the actual ground truth market rate, so you don't get overcharged. When you find the item in a shop inside SimCity, always ask for the cash price. Most independent tech retailers will give you an automatic 3% to 5% discount just for paying in physical Hong Kong cash instead of using a credit card. To shop the Mongkok markets like the regulars and skip the tourist tax, you only need 4 quick Cantonese phrases to cut the price by 60%. This is what I call the monk walk. First, walk up, point to the item, and ask, "Gei do tang?" That means, how much? They'll grab a calculator and punch in an insanely high tourist price. Hai gui la, ping di la,
800唔食地啦。
Ting di la. That means cheaper, please. If they hesitate or argue, pull out the ultimate weapon, the monk walk. Zeta, the second you walk, the power flips. They will literally chase you down the aisle to give you your price. Finally, you need to check out the faraways to see the side of Hong Kong most people miss. At the Tayo fishing village, don't just stay on the walking paths. Go to the pier, rent a small boat directly from a local resident, and ask them for a dolphin spotting excursion. The local boatmen know exactly where the rare Chinese white-pink dolphins hang out, far away from the big tour groups. Over on Llama Island, take the family walk hike, but bypass the massive, touristy restaurants at the end. Look for the tiny, unnamed seafood shacks along the trail for the freshest and cheapest catch of the day. They call this the happiest place on earth, but for most, it's just the most crowded place on earth, waiting in line for hours just to feel a little magic. I don't follow the crowd. I found a better way to navigate. I call it the happy pace on earth. Do not buy your tickets at the front gate. To save you some time, I dropped the direct online booking link in the description below. Not only do you get a better price, but you automatically skip the lines entirely with the early park entry pass. It costs an extra $25, but it lets you into the park a full hour before official opening. Do not waste that hour taking photos on Main Street. Run straight to the back to the world of Frozen and ride Frozen Ever After and Wandering Oaken's sliding sleighs with absolutely zero wait. You'll clear the park's most popular land before the regular gates even open. Second, conquer the midday heat. From 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., Hong Kong's humidity can be brutal. Do not line up for outdoor rides like RC Racer during this time. Instead, use the afternoon slump to hit high-capacity, heavy AC indoor attractions like Mickey's PhilharMagic, Iron Man Experience, or grab a 20-minute air-conditioned loop on the Disneyland Railroad to recharge. Lastly, if you want the ultimate exit strategy, watch the fireworks from the main entrance gantry. You get a perfect panoramic view, and the second the last firework hits the sky, you can turn around and walk straight onto the train before the 30,000-person stampede hits the station. This is why I call the stop bucks. You know, I love Starbucks, but please do not fly all the way to Hong Kong just to order the same burnt latte you get at home. The coffee and tea culture here is far too legendary to pass up, and you need to experience it straight from the source. Instead, look for a classic, old-school Hong Kong diner. These spots are the absolute heart of the local breakfast culture. If you want a serious kick, Order a yin and yang. It is a brilliant local invention that mixes intense milk tea with strong coffee and sweet condensed milk. It's significantly cheaper than a latte, it tastes 1,000 times better, and it gives you a real, authentic start to your day. But if you are not a coffee lover, do not worry. You are going to order the absolute crown jewel of the city, an authentic Hong Kong-style milk tea. Think of it as the local equivalent to a smooth, rich tea tarik. They blend multiple varieties of black tea and pour it repeatedly through a special cloth filter, which gives it the famous nickname silk stocking milk tea, because of how incredibly smooth and velvety it makes the texture. Let's establish an absolute rule for food. If you book your hotel with breakfast included, you are making a massive mistake. You did not travel across the world to eat generic pancakes, rubbery scrambled eggs, and industrial sliced bread inside a quiet hotel dining room. Hong Kong is effectively the breakfast capital of the world. Wake up early, step outside, and look for where the steam is rising on the street. Instead of a boring Western routine, you should be genuinely excited to wake up every single morning for an authentic Chinese breakfast experience. Hunt down local spots where you can sit down for authentic dim sum. Fill your table with bamboo boxes of savory siomai, translucent shrimp dumplings, and pillowy soft barbecue pork buns. Grab a flaky, sweet local egg tart on the go, or find a traditional joint serving silky, comforting fish or pork congee. This is how you start a real travel day. When it comes to lunch and dinner, the city transforms into a world-class paradise for legendary Hong Kong roasts. We are talking about succulent roast goose with paper-thin crispy skin, tender soy chicken, classic white-cut chicken, sweet charred char siu, and roast pork belly with a crunch so loud the next table can hear it. To the absolute best neighborhood roast joints, skip Google Maps entirely. In Hong Kong, the only app that matters for food is OpenRice. It is the local authority. If a place has a high score on OpenRice and a long line of locals outside, get in that line. If you want to experience the absolute elite tier of local roasts without breaking the bank, look for legendary spots like Palm's Roast Goose in Wan Chai or Yacht Lock in Central. These aren't fancy white tablecloth establishments. They are humble, fast-paced neighborhood joints that have literally earned prestigious Michelin stars solely because their crispy roast goose and sweet BBQ pork are so mind-blowingly perfect. If you want to take your food game to the absolute limit, you need to look up the official Maxim's Dim Sum Academy.
Oh, correct.
Yes, the legendary culinary group behind Hong Kong's most iconic dim sum actually runs a full, hands-on Cantonese dim sum cooking class. You get to step directly into the kitchen with their master chefs to learn the exact trade secrets, precise wrapping science, and folding techniques that define HK's food culture. These sessions fill up incredibly fast, so I'll drop the direct link to sign up in the description below. Hit that link, lock in your spot, and get ready to work. To survive Hong Kong like a pro, you need to understand the rhythm of a city packed with over 7 million people. First rule, avoid the transit rush hours from 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. and 5:30 to 7 p.m. at all costs. If you try to board an MTR train during these blocks, you will get aggressively packed into a subway car like a sardine. Time your museum visits or morning coffee around these windows to keep your sanity intact. Finally, understand restaurant pacing before you sit down. Local neighborhood spots operate on pure, unadulterated speed. They expect you to look at the menu fast, order immediately, eat your food, pay at the counter, and get out so the next person in line can have your seat. Do not mistake this for rudeness. It is just the beautiful, high-speed rhythm of the city. Embrace the chaos, play by their rules, and you will fit right in. When you pair these local navigation habits with the right transit tools, moving through the city goes from an overwhelming maze to an absolute breeze. You now have the couch strategy, the hotel math, the logistics, the clusters, and the local food rules. You are no longer just visiting Hong Kong. You have the blueprint to master. All the links to the booking tools, maps, and apps we talked about are ready for you in the description below. Now, I want to know, what is the number one strategy you learned today that you are definitely going to apply to your next trip? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.